Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Quinn. I am from Vancouver in Canada, on the west coast of Canada, but I currently live in Rome, Italy. And in school, I studied food anthropology, and I call myself a social entrepreneur. So I'm here today to share a little bit about a really exciting challenge that we have that we've been working on and we're excited to launch today, and a tiny bit about the work I do through my nonprofit organization, Tailored Food, where we work on delicious, nutritious food for everyone, everywhere. So I moved to Liberia in West Africa in 2015. And Dee Dee and her family became my next door neighbor. And Dee Dee wanted to buy good quality food for her family, food that was healthy, food that tasted good, food that didn't take too much time to prepare. But when she went to her market, these are the types of food products available. And so when we often think about food deserts or food insecurity, we think that the issue is that there's no food available for people who maybe are suffering from malnutrition or obesity. But the reality is often lots of food products are available, but the products that are available are often really, really unhealthy. And these unhealthy products, they have a lot of marketing money behind them, a lot of smart marketing, creative ideas. And so those products are they're desirable, right? Unhealthy food products, they sound good, they sound cool, they taste good, all those different factors. But from our perspective, a food system that works really well is one where food is nutritious, is really delicious, that's super important, is affordable, you can afford it even if you don't have a lot of money, and ideally is produced locally. And so for us, the process we go through to try to hit these 4 boxes, we work with local businesses in different countries. We research food trends, design trainings, and figure out how to launch healthy, nutritious food products and how to build marketing campaigns to make those products exciting for consumers. So for example, in Liberia, we launched a line of flavored porridge products in the market, kind of like oatmeal. We source ingredients from small farmers. Our meals only cost 6 cents per meal. We build manufacturing facilities that cost only $1,000 per facility. And the business has a 36% profit margin, most importantly. And on the marketing side, we market, with soccer matches, with brand ambassadors, hip hop concerts, painting walls, painting houses, making sure that the salespeople in markets are able to make a good profit. All the same things that Coca-Cola or another big food company might do. We try to market healthy foods in a really sexy, exciting way. And so we now operate projects in a number of different countries, including Kenya, Brazil, Tanzania. And the Washington Post has written about our work, and we've had support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and other partners. And how we measure our success, what we need to do every day is market healthy foods to low-income people, but we measure our success based on number of meals purchased, the number of jobs created for women, and the number of people consistently reached with nutritious foods. Here are some of the partners we work with. And now to get into the challenge. This is the most important slide here. So, together with the partners listed below and on the website, we're excited to announce today the Delicious and Nutritious K-12 Food Challenge, where we're asking teams or individuals as well to select a locally accessible, fresh, healthy food that's available in your community, whether at the grocery store or in a farmer's market setting. and do some research on its background, where it's grown, how it's grown, the impact of it. And we're asking you to build a really creative marketing campaign on how do we make healthy foods really exciting for consumers. And any K through 12 student is eligible. The challenge opens today, which is exciting. And then the deadline for submission is the 18th of December. If you have any questions about this challenge, you can follow up, with myself or anyone at the challenge team, and my contact information I'll share in a second here. But we're really excited to focus on the question of unhealthy food has a lot of great creative marketing ideas behind it on how it's promoted. So let's get some more creative marketing ideas out there on how to market healthy food as well. And so here's all my contact information, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and email, and my organization's website. But thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you very much, Taylor. I do have a couple questions for you. It looks like Nearby, who was our guest right before you, said, can you please tell what 4 areas that you market? I'm not sure I understand the question exactly. Do you understand it, Taylor?
I can interpret it, but Nearby, if you don't mind
why don't you put a little more info in there for us? And then while you're doing that, I have another question. Can you put up your last slide before this, Taylor? Because there was something on that screen I wanted to ask you about. Oh, I guess 2 things. One, to reiterate, what countries do students have to be from in order to participate?
Yeah, so to participate in this challenge, students can be from any country in the world. And looking at that first bullet point there, Julie, I want to emphasize that we're encouraging students to focus on a food product that is available in their local community, but it's okay if a food product is not necessarily grown in their local community. So if you live, say, in Canada, and you want to focus on a marketing campaign for bananas, if bananas are available in your local market, even if they're not grown in Canada, that is okay.
Okay. And maybe you can touch on the environmental impact of the food, what that might mean, if we have any young children with us, what do we mean by that?
Yeah, so when it comes to environmental impact, you as a challenge participant can look at a couple different areas. Maybe we can stick with the bananas example for now, because bananas, might be, a really healthy food product. But if you're in a location where bananas have to be transported halfway around the world to reach you, maybe you can look at what is the shipping time that takes. How are bananas generally shipped from where they're grown to your community? Are they shipped on trucks, in airplanes, in boats? And also, looking at the environmental impact of how something is grown. If you're focusing on maybe a fresh fruit or vegetable, are pesticides and chemicals generally used for the growing process? And what are the other, is a lot of water used in the growing process? So, we're open to challenge participants, taking the environmental impact aspect, in whatever direction kind of makes sense, depending on what food product you're focused on. But we want challenge participants to really look at their food product, ideally kind of from a holistic perspective, not just, hey, it's healthy, hey, it's cheap, hey, it tastes good, but really like, how is it grown? How is it transported? What are the other kind of aspects that go into this product?
Okay, and can you see the follow-up to Nearby's question from his mom in the chat?
Yeah.
Let's go to the slide.
I think it goes back to the earlier point. So yeah, just to touch on this in a little more detail. So me and my work at Tailored Food and at the United Nations, I've come to believe that good a food system that works has to have these four things at its core, these four principles at its core. Food should be nutritious, leveraging locally nutritious ingredients and maybe imported nutritious ingredients when needed. Food needs to be really, really tasty and culturally relevant. And how can we leverage world-class chefs to help make food even more tasty? Food needs to be affordable to the lowest income consumers in a community. And when possible, food should be local, and food should be produced by local food processors. Ingredients should be sourced from local farmers whenever possible, etc.
Okay, but to be clear, this is your work, which is wonderful work, by the way, but not these are not requirements included in the challenge that we're doing.
No, that's correct, Julie. Yeah, the food product you focus on that you want to, build a marketing campaign around doesn't necessarily need to be these four things. But if you want to incorporate them in, that is great too. I obviously am biased, but I think it's a good kind of framework in which to look at ideas from. Is something tasty? Is it healthy? Is it affordable in your community? And in a perfect world, maybe it's something that's grown or at least available in your local markets, right?
Hi, Taylor. This is Belén from Spain. I wanted to congratulate you on your work, which is impressive, and then talk a little bit about the experience in Spain. For instance, in schools, my little child eats lunch in school, and they are paying now more and more attention to the nutritious part of what they offer. We even have an app, Families, and we are sent suggestions for dinner depending on what they have had for lunch, so that they have nutrition meals. But there was a problem when I was a child, and the problem still persists nowadays, and it is that all machines, for instance, I work at the university, and all machines where you can buy snacks, they offer like candy bars and all that stuff, and you never find an apple in there, these things look attractive because of how they are presented, and also they are more available because you're there and this is what you get. Are you reflecting on that, or do you have any ideas on? Is it also this way in your country?
Yeah, it's a good question, Bailyn, and thank you for it. So yes, the candy bar is available in the vending machine maybe versus an apple, and it's also maybe more exciting to the end consumer, because maybe there has been advertisements on the local TV about the candy bar. Maybe there's been billboards as you drive down the street about the candy bar. And you don't have those same local advertisements for an apple, right? Or billboards for an apple, or newspaper ads for the apple, or Instagram ads or TikTok videos, advertising that apple, right? And so that's why we're really excited to launch this challenge, to engage challenge participants in asking the question of, how do we design really creative marketing strategies around, healthy food items? Because I think for anyone who's, been lucky enough to have, a fresh piece of fruit, a fresh peach or a fresh apple during its season, or a really crisp, piece of roasted broccoli, during its season, or even, a really healthy snack bar that's made with, natural ingredients or whatever it might be, you know, those products actually taste very good. You know, it's not that they don't taste good. It's just that they don't necessarily have, you know, really great messaging and marketing to make them exciting. So I think that's a really important component. Because, you know, I think, you know, to your question directly, if there was a big campaign in your community to market apples, I think then kids and parents at the school would say to the school administrators, hey, you know, we want to see, you know, we want to be able to buy apples. Apples are really cool right now. You know, make sure to put apples in the vending machine in your school.
And also the other way around, like if you find apples in the vending machine and one person starts consuming it like others copy, you know, so at the end.
Sí.
And also, for instance, when I was in Brazil, they had so many juice shops where you could get all different fruits, and we found them so exotic. They were so tasty. I don't think there is a candy bar that is tastier than that. The only thing is people don't know about it, and we should let them know about it. I was so amazed. I always wanted to taste a new fruit.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. No, I think that's exactly it. You know, when I, you know, in my work, you know, when I'm somewhere where, you know, a piece of fruit is in season, you know, fruit is the kind of the most natural form of sugar, right? You know, a fruit that is ripe, you know, is a great source of something sweet. But so that's kind of, you know, the original candy bar, you know, in many regards. So I think there's a big opportunity there.
Taylor, I want to thank you so much for coming on with us today, for working with Gift to create this challenge. And one thing I don't think we talked about, but I just want to say before you go, is that you did mention December 18th is the cutoff for entries. People can go to the globalinnovationfieldtrip.org website. Right on the homepage, click on the picture you're seeing right here. It'll take you to more information. After Gift today, it will take you to a registration form as well. And then in the January Global Innovation Field Trip, January 15, 16, the top challengers will be invited to share space on screen with Taylor as we go through those presentations and show them off to the world. Okay, thank you so much, Taylor.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
thank you.